Yo, what up, family and folks? I am excited to share with you my audiobook to Finding the New You, The Power of Resetting Your Mind and Perspective. Get your copy today. The link is in the description box down below. Thanks for listening.
Chapter 3 Unlearn and Relearn. Quote, "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." End quote. Alvin Toffler. Our adulthood is shaped by what we have learned over the previous years. What we've learned about ourselves and the world from our parents, schools, friends, relationships, media, and experiences have all formed our view of life and what we apply to it. How we treat ourselves and others essentially come from how we have learned things should be treated. But have you ever later found out that something that you were taught from your parents wasn't right? Or that information you may have learned in class was not accurate? Or that something you learned in a previous relationship did not apply in the next one? Or maybe traits that you acquired growing up weren't healthy? This line of thinking comes when you start to question whether or not your past education and knowledge is conducive to your future endeavors. Meaning, has what I learned and applied the right thing? And has it helped or hindered this area of my life? At this point, you have the choice of either continuing to live with what you know or unlearning and relearning. Unlearning is learning. Simply put, unlearning and relearning is the process of replacing old beliefs with more pragmatic ones. Unlearning, in essence, is the task of unpacking what you've known to be true and then determining whether the things you've unpacked are outdated, obsolete, or impractical to your life. There is so much about the cultures and environments that we've grown up in that has directly impacted our way of thinking and the ideologies that we live by. And without going through an unlearning process, you will be more prone to get stuck in a line of thinking that will ultimately hinder your growth. When you hear of someone who is stuck in their old ways, it refers to a person who refuses to unlearn. Ask more questions. Many children and adolescents go through a phase of asking countless questions. They may ask dozens of questions within a day or even an hour. To the parent, it may drive them crazy that their child is asking why 1,000 times. But to the child, it is a part of their learning process. They know that questions are needed to have knowledge. But somewhere in our adulthood, we have a tendency of seeing questions as a burden. Some of us tend to avoid questions even though we want answers. Others of us avoid questions because we feel that the answers may conflict with our beliefs. However, unlearning is fueled by questions. And as you unpack, you find yourself asking things like, why do I believe this? Where did this idea come from? Who am I? What do I want to be known for? Is what I'm doing right or wrong? These types of questions and many more help enhance your self-awareness and set you up for the next step after unlearning, and that's relearning. Reconstruction. Relearning is rebuilding. It is coming back to the same materials and building a new structure. Or in better terms, coming back to the same information with a better understanding of self-improvement. A great example of relearning is technology. The computer systems that we use, in order for them to run effectively, regularly go through what we call an update. When a system updates, it is replacing older versions of the same software with newer and more improved software. Our mind is also a system that needs to be updated frequently in order for our life to run at its fullest potential. Even throughout the Bible, the Apostle Paul speaks of the importance of renewing your mind and the spirit of your mind. Oftentimes, deep-rooted beliefs, traditions, teachings, and frame of reference can hold us back from achieving goals that we have set for our life. The good thing about relearning is that it allows us to reopen our mind to receive new information and see the world with a fresh set of eyes and a healthier perspective. After unlearning and relearning, we take the next step towards making our lives better.